and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Celestial Esports Twitch channel. My name is Luna, and I am here with Cliff to bring you the Celestial Light versus Vortex Reborn Chaos games from the Monday just gone. Trying to cover as many of our own games as we can, and this one is included. Best of 3 to stay at the top of the table for Celestial Light.
You ready to go? You ready to unpause?
I think so.
All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. I tell you what, the nice thing about doing it this way is not having to sit through draft.
There's no delays.
There's no delays. If there's a pause, we don't have to sit through the pause. It's honestly so nice. Oh, cool. Zoomed out as well.
Oh, I hope if my camera didn't start to go 6 miles off the left. So I'd imagine pretty standard early game here.
Yeah, I mean, matchup-wise, this is a horrendous matchup top lane for the Maokai. I think Pantheon's kind of OP right now. I think Ahri's fine against Victor, surely.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah.
And then
fine matchup.
Bot lane is weird. Tristana Taric doesn't seem like a great combination, and then you're against Kai'Sa Nautilus, which is like classic 2v2 bot lane. They can fight whenever they feel like it. Kai'Sa can just randomly blow you up because Nautilus puts 2 stacks on you immediately.
But you've also got the stun lineup from Trist when she jumps forward. Taric is the very interesting thing to think about there.
Yeah, I think the Kai'Sa Nautilus is a lot easier to actually, like, play.
Yeah, I'd give you that one. I'd say that's accurate.
I think this early game is going to be kind of rough, this top side, because I mean, if I was Cookie, I'd have pathed towards this Maokai.
Yeah, get your Gwen as far ahead as you possibly can. See, level 2 advantage on bot lane as the hook lands onto the wall base. Good chunk of damage coming down. Ignite and Exhaust both already had to be dropped as this Tristana just has to chug the potion. Try and survive. Very good usage of the level 2 pressure. Bit of disrespect coming out of the Celestial Light bot lane duo.
Yeah, Tristana's a champion at level 2. Taric isn't really a champion until like level 3, maybe level 4. So it's a real rough one. Level 1 Taric literally cannot do anything in this lane. It's horrendous.
Yeah, you can see top lane going about as we expect. Maokai getting snipped down ever so slowly, but will get snipped down nonetheless, although that sap magic should do a good bit to dissuade that a little bit more than otherwise normal in tank versus Gwen matchups.
Yeah, sap magic is fine. I think Beeg should have reset earlier. It's a bit of a risky one, but the refillable is kind of OP against Gwen. Because she wants to just chip you down over a lot of short trades in the top side. Like a lot of short trades, consistently chunk off 100 HP here, chunk off 200 HP there. Refillable is kind of nuts against it. He did go for the null magic though, which is also a good buy.
Yeah, pick up the early mercs into a Pantheon is not a bad idea. The stun is the only thing that's really going to make it vulnerable. There's Towie taking on a chunk. A good stun lands onto Tiga, but a hook is weaved past Warbase. Kai'Sa is still just getting traded onto. Shield comes down. Passive is popped. Health bars very, very blinking. So close to the end as Cookie arrives in the mid lane. Flash forward for the stun. Down comes Gravity Field. Beth has to flash away. As the charm comes in, Cookie has to drop the Aegis Assault just to try and survive. Good attempt onto the mid lane. Flash for flash, but Pantheon without flash finds ganking so much harder. See, more trading up towards this top side. Pretty lull state for now. I don't imagine there being any major fights until the level 6 mark for these junglers, which is when they really want to start getting onto the map and starting to have that impact.
Yeah, I mean, Wukong kind of just wants to farm. He wants to full clear. He can get stuff done early, but not really that impactful pre-6. Like, good counter ganking jungler pre-6, but until he is 6, he doesn't really do a lot in any of these lanes. I guess the gank on Gwen could be nice, but Victor should be more than safe enough to avoid a Wukong gank. Ganking it into Nautilus Kai'Sa as Wukong just doesn't sound fun at all, with your bot lane being half health pretty much the entire laning phase. If he ganks bot lane and that turns into a 3v3, they're gonna get wiped. So Celestial Light have to give up as much of this early pressure as possible to get the Wukong online and just to stabilize their lanes a little bit.
Yeah, Wukong, a known level 6 farmer, just wants to get that Cyclone and be able to start really impacting these fights. We can see this dragon already started up for the side of Vortex. Reborn should just be taken without too much trouble.
I don't think the bot lane needed to be there for it. I think Tiger and Frank should have walked over to it, but once they knew that Light weren't contesting, I think they should have just gone and got the bot lane prio, push that into the tower, set up the wave to slowly be coming towards them when they come back to lane, which, I mean, maybe isn't the best thing to do against a Tristana, but it would secure Tiger an even bigger CS lead. But, I mean, basing out the dragon is fine, you don't really lose anything, but he could have a bigger advantage.
Certainly could. See just a little bit of trading in the mid lane as the gravity field comes down, forces the Spirit Rush alongside that Arcane Storm. So a lot of trading going down towards this mid lane as Frank finds another hook onto Towie on the bot side. Nothing's going to come of it for now. Too close to tower as Beth lands a charm onto Mekari in the mid lane. Has one more charge of Spirit Rush, but can't quite get it off. Cookie is here to try and avenge his Minerva, but Phantom ready and looking, finds the way in with an Ember Strike. Just looking to stop Cookie doing anything. TP comes in from Mekari immediately to dissuade the rest of this fight. Beth stuck in lane, no mana, not able to take the reset just yet. No TP to come back either. Leaving this Ahri in a very precarious situation. Does just have to respect and leave, and Tom is stuck in the river. 1 versus 2 as Bradman had first move from that top wave, which means the Scuttle is going to go down up there as well.
Yeah, I mean, good TP from Mekari. Keep his jungler safe. Another hook comes out.
It does, lands onto towers, the stun comes down onto Tiga. That explosive charge does a lot of damage. Warbase still has the lead, but First Blood will go across as the Void Seeker finds a fully stacked Taric. And the Kai'Sa will be very happy to take that one for themselves.
Yeah, Ignite coming in clutch there, stopping the Taric from getting heals. Once you start auto-attacking in these skirmishes as Taric, you are really OP because you get your cooldowns back so quickly, particularly the heal cooldown. Ignite does nullify it. Tiga finds a great W through the wave. Just barely clipping, not hitting Warbase, sniping Towie in the back with First Blood. Doesn't really mean a lot, but when you're Kai'Sa into Tristana, getting the first kill in that lane is, you'll take that every single day.
Certainly will. It's a Rectrix and a Scout Slingshot on the reset for Tiga. And these grubs will go down completely uncontested for Vortex Reborn as well, allowing them only one more neutral objective to secure themselves that feat, which is normally not the first one we see go down.
Yeah, no, it's usually the kills, right? I don't think I've ever played a game where it isn't the kills.
Normally it is those feats of warfare, as you can see Bradman trying to dash forward onto Beeg to get some chip damage down, but that skip and slash is pretty much matched in cooldown by the Bramble Smash, and the Needlework comes out, still looking, snip is used, Beeg's half health, doesn't really have the mana to keep fighting, Sap Magic comes down, but the Needlework is completely gone. Beeg, a good job surviving that as the Nature's Grasp comes in, he's feeling himself, he thinks he can find the solo. The Hallowed Mist is still available.
Oh no.
In comes Cookie with the ult. Allow an angle. Beeg now stuck in a little bit of between a rock and a hard place. Bradman jumping forwards, but Beeg finding so much survivability from that passive. It doesn't matter as the execute comes through from the spear. fighting the mid lane, fighting the bot lane. Beth using that ultimate alongside the Cyclone in the jungle from Tom onto Frank, looking to just take out this Nautilus. Mekari survives in the mid lane in the meanwhile. The crushing blow will make sure this Nautilus falls. Taui now moving up to Tom as Tiga has to just try and run. Ults away from the stun, but Warbase is here as well. Exposure charge comes down. Taric ult coming to land. And now nobody is tanking up the tower. Warbase will take another shot, but Tom now 2-0 on this Wukong. It's matched. Beth is looking for the kill shot on Mekari. Orbit Deception just slightly short.
Oh, that was very unfortunate. That was so close. That was like a frame away from Beth picking up the victor kill. Yeah, they find a good fight in the bot side of the jungle. Tom finds Frank kind of all alone. Frank flashes for the blast cone, and Tom just follows him with the flash. But it looks like there's going to be more going on down here.
Tom's completely unspotted here. He can just walk in behind Cookie. Taui and Warbase just keep Frank busy. Cookie is being completely nullified in this fight. Warbase is getting to stack up that tempo free, finds it, hook lands onto Tom, but Frank is already incredibly low. Down goes one, and the Feat of Warfare is claimed by Light. Cookie's the next to fall as Warbase finds his first. Tiga's now stuck between a rock and a hard place, and Taui will take that one. Celestial Light have come alive in the last 2 minutes on this bottom side, using their pressure without fault.
Yeah, and a lot of gold over to the Wukong as well, which is really nice. Bradman stacking up the Conqueror.
Doesn't stop. The Needlework is coming down. Not even another charge of it, so Big will be fine. It seems we have hit the point of no return in terms of permanent fist fighting.
Yeah, I swear, Div 3 is crazier than Div 4. This happens in Div 3 games so much more than it happens in my games. They just love fighting. Big's gonna look here. Flash forward.
Does find the flash. Bramble Smash comes down. Nature's Grasp will be flashed away from, however. Not how this matchup is meant to go, but Beth is on the flank. They could look for the dive if they really wanted to go for it. Spirit Rush forwards. Charm lands. Orbit Deception as well. And Beth will take that one quite happily. The Dragon goes down on the bottom side, which puts it at 1-1 for Feats. This tower now, so important to get.
Yeah, first tower holds a lot of value now. Yeah, Bradman based in a really weird spot there. Big had his cooldowns back up. Bradman didn't have ult. He had to flash, flash in response to the Maokai's flash, but as Gwen, if you have to blow your flash defensively against a Maokai, that is not a good look for you. You absolutely destroy Maokai in this matchup. It does get harder now the Hollow Radiance is finished. Beat's going to be able to clear waves and obviously take less damage from you, but, you know, this level 9 Gwen, it's kind of scary. He's up in CS and he had to flash away from a Maokai. Bit of an oof.
This tower, however, is just going to get rinsed. 2 plates gone in the blink of an eye. Big not having that TP to come back to lane. We should hit a bit of a lull state now. No neutral for another few minutes. The next one being this Dragon in 3 minutes 45.
Take a look at gold really quickly. There's a lot. Oh, it's a gank in this top lane.
That is, he is looking. Bradman jumping forwards. Not able to find it initially. Needlework is good. A lot of damage coming down, but that Bramble Smash buys so much space. Stun comes back in from Cookie, but Big is just surviving. Another very good Bramble Smash as Tom has arrived. Aegis Assault does not save him. Tom's on a rampage. Bradman falls, and Big will get on the board. Finally. They tried to punish this Maokai, but he's so incredibly tanky. On the bot side, a 3-man collapse comes in from Vortex. Cosmic Radiance has to be popped. Warbase jumping away. Does get caught by the hook. Tiga goes flying in with that killer instinct. Arcane Storm comes down. Tiga picks up his second. Taui runs for the hills. Can't keep chasing the wave there to stop any hook. But it's responded on the bot side. 2 for 1 overall on the play. But this top lane tower is getting rinsed.
Surely they get this first as well. I would commit to this.
Grand Starfall comes in. Stun down onto Big. Execute comes in from that spear as well. The Comet Spear so incredibly strong. Tom now stuck in a fight he does not want to take, but the spear misses. Cookie has to flash. Nimbus strikes almost back up. There's no clone. Stun comes down. Execution is perfect. And the bot lane tower is in fact the first to fall. Vortex Nova able to stop this top lane tower falling and claim the feats of strength for themselves.
Cookie absolutely just saved the game for Vortex then. Gets a double kill on the top side, he saves the tower, buys his bot lane enough time to kill the tower in the bot side so he secures feet, so Cookie just solo saved the game. If they lose that tower there, and they trade tower for tower, Light would get the tower first, oh, Flash is in the mid lane, Jesus.
Yeah,
Very aggressive.
Very aggressive indeed. Tower falls in the top lane as well as punishment for that play. So much gold has gone back into the pocket of Vortex Reborn. Beth's reset got cancelled by a stray Void Seeker. Warbase is in the river, completely isolated. Has to use the rocket jump over the wall, but the hook lands very nicely from Frank. Not able to find the initial stun, however, as Tom is there to dissuade anything further.
An isolated Q still does so much damage to this Wukong. I know it's just plated steel caps on the Wukong, but still, that was a lot of damage from that. That Kai'Sa Q, which is just on Shiv and Pickaxe, by the way.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage on the ability. The Herald is started up by Vortex Nova. It looks like it's going to be given in favor of breaking this first tower in the mid lane. You'll see a collapse coming onto Bradman in the bottom side as Frank and Tiga move into the mid lane. Bradman jumping towards B, but Tom is in the wings. Good use of the Twisted Advance as the Herald goes down. Bradman's trying to survive. The Hallowed Mist will do nothing to save you today. Good pick off on the side in response, but still no standing gold taken down for Celestial Light. All these objectives are going across with very little punishment in return.
Yeah, well, they sit out. We kind of wasting their time a bit. They're just sitting mid lane when I feel like they should have been securing the priority and the vision in this bot side river. They essentially just sort of sat in the middle of the map and waited for the play to be finished bot side. They could have just saved themselves 30 seconds, walked into that river, you know, darkened it all up, then gone back to the mid wave. But the gank bot side really good, picking the Gwen off. The Gwen is now 0-3, and she had such an amazing early game. She was dominating this Maokai, and she probably feels pretty homeless right now.
Yeah, can't feel good, as you say. This dragon started up by Tom in isolation as Beegs moved up into the river after taking that bot lane tier 1. We can see Beth and Towie just playing keep out from the mid lane as well. So this will be the first neutral objective picked up for Celestial Light.
Yeah, one dragon. It slows the pace of the game down, which I think they'll like that with their comp. I mean, they don't scale as hard on 6 items as Vortex do, but stopping the dragon stacking secures them that sort of mid-game area that we're coming into now, just not absolutely falling apart. Because if Vortex got the soul point, every fight after that becomes a very terrifying prospect. Especially on, is it Ocean? It is Ocean, right?
Yes, it is indeed. As we see Grand Starfall using the top lane on towards Beth. Stun comes down, but Tom is there to cover. Spirit Rush away to safety. A good charm. Tagged onto Cookie. There's no Aegis Assault because everybody's behind him. Cookie will fall. Teague is now fighting Warbase in the mid lane. It's going to be a trade of health for now as Tom goes looking for Bradman. Flash away from the charm as Frank is here to back him up. Will just be the one kill for now as Beeg is looking aggressively onto Mekri in the bottom lane. That gravity field binds so much space. In comes the Arcane Storm, but Beeg is taking so little damage thanks to this Hollow Radiance. Lasers are landing. Beeg not really able to get too much damage down himself. Mekri just kind of able to kite this one out for now. It will just end with nothing. Towie is hooked as well. Also not going to have anything come of it. So another incredible punish on the side lane by the side of Celestial Light.
Maybe I'm trolling a little bit here, but isn't Mark Treads the choice on boots for Beeg?
For Beeg?
I mean,
you're sitting at a 50-50 damage split. So it just
yeah,
depends. Kai'Sa's still going to be autoing you, Gwen's still going to be autoing you, Pantheon's still going to be autoing you. It blocks the Pantheon damage. It blocks half of Kai'Sa's damage. You know, it makes sense.
I feel like as their frontline, and most of the time he's going to be matched up solo against one of these AP threats, Mike just kind of goes hard. When he creeps up for the 5v5s,
there's no CT that he needs to worry about either, is the other big thing.
I mean, if he gets hooked and rooted by this Nautilus, he can 100% should be blown up.
I don't hate it as a choice. I think if you can now accelerate to your second item quick enough, it's not going to make a huge difference because that makes you 10 times harder to kill.
It's also taking jungle camps down.
It's also taking jungle camps down there. You know, just making sure that Cookie has nothing to go back to on the bottom side. Has to back off though. Waves crashing. Prefers the lane minions. You know, as you do as a laner. It's going to be a bit of a quiet period for now. No objective up for another 2 minutes or so. Atakan in 15 seconds is the next big one. But we don't tend to see Atakan done on spawn as Beth. A beautiful cancel on the stun onto Cookie there.
Yeah, very good cancel. Very, very good cancel. The Gwen's hovering here, just kind of sat in that bush there. So they must be looking for a play. They're going to look to herald this mid lane now. Good play, gives us some tempo here. If they can get this tower, it's going to be really nice.
Certainly is. We can see Frank is the driver. Does he have his driver's license? Yes, he does. Finds on Towie no less, but he's now caught in the middle of everybody. Is forced to flash immediately. The tower doesn't go down. Towie now stunned up. Isn't able to use the Cosmic Radiance. He's CC chained. Tom jumping in and immediately second guesses that decision. But the needlework was used, as was the depth charge. Mekri has teleported in now as well. 5 members strong in this mid lane. Cookie finds a way out of Warbase. Always has to flash. Tom now just having to walk away as the Arcane Storm is dropped on his head. They really want this tower. Beth forces to use the Spirit Rush as Bradman dashes forwards. There's not going to be a fight just yet. But my lord, every little movement is the cusp of what could be the game-breaking fight for Vortex Reborn.
Yeah, Towie kind of stepping too far forward. Once they killed that Rift Herald and Frank had flashed out, that was play over for Light. Successful play over. And Towie kind of just committed.
An interesting use of tempo. Teleport in from Beth. Big is here as well. Has walked up from the bot lane. 3,000 health on this objective, but the resistances are being shredded. It's secured by Tiga, but Beth and Big are happy to fight this. Big finds his way onto the Kai'Sa. The Kai'Sa! Killer instincts and gets immediately charmed up by the Ahri. Unfortunately, there's not enough in the tank to keep it going, but Towie's here now as the Cosmic Radiance comes down. Tom goes in and finds a 4-man Cyclone as Bradman goes down, and Cookie is soon to follow. The gravity field is good. You trade 2 for 1 to get the objective, but your tempo is now completely shot as Vortex Nova.
Yeah, big shout out to Unending Despair, by the way.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Unending Despair, keeping Beak alive for so long in a 5v1. I mean, Beth was there throwing some skill shots in, but they were all targeting Beak, and Unending Despair was kind of OP there. I can understand why it was nerfed a few months ago.
Yeah.
Because it's still ridiculous right now.
You can see that this has also given Light the tempo to just immediately start on this dragon without any issue. Warbase level 11 now has the range to hit this from over the back of the pit. And with the second dragon secured, 2 Ocean Drakes for the side of Celestial Light at this point. So anti-heal going to be a big factor if this game goes much longer. It is currently very even in terms of gold. Both of these teams fighting the good fight. Chaos are doing what they can. Light are finding good angles left, right, and center. Beth, substitute mid laner for game number 1, sitting 1-0-3 on the Ahri. Tom, 6-1-5 on this Wukong. Warbase 2-3 on the Tristana. They really are making Chaos work for it. But on the other side, Mekri, yet to die. Tiga, 3-1 on this Kai'Sa, sitting on 2 items. Cookie, doing very well for himself as well. You don't mind the extra death on a champion like the Pantheon, when so much of your job is just to trade your life for 1 for 1.
And Tom with an almost 100% KP this game, by the way. 6-1-5 in a game where his team have 12 kills.
Yeah. It's
kind of impressive. A lot's going through this jungle. He's really dictating the pace of this game for his team, you know, in a positive way.
Yeah, Beth very happy to just use the Spirit Rush defensively there. Wasn't sure if Cookie was in the wing, saw Mekri stepping up aggressively. Just happy to use it to safety. You can see there's a bit of scouting going on in this bottom side jungle.
Oh, Tom, why are you walking there? That's terrifying. We need to flame him. Why is he walking in there? They know the whole enemy team is on that side of the map, and he's just walking into the bloody jungle blind. That is criminal. That man needs a whack on the head.
Never punished, it would seem.
He 100% should have been punished. He got lucky. He got lucky that they walked out. Because Chaos were all there. There were 4 members of Chaos there. The only person that wasn't was the Gwen. If they'd stayed 10 seconds longer when he walked into that, he would have just died.
I certainly would have done. This ward is proving to be a bit of a nuisance for the side of Light, I would wager. They know exactly what the movements of everybody is. Baron, this next objective, 36 seconds on the clock. Tom looking aggressively onto Bradman. Doesn't want to keep chasing it, though, as the stun from Towie goes a little bit wide.
Yeah, that's the saddest thing when you play Taric and you have your W attached to a particular member of your team, and you try to stun an enemy and your teammate just purposefully, well, not purposefully, I'm not going to say Tom was doing it on purpose, but your teammate takes a random sidestep so your stun doesn't hit. Enemy doesn't even dodge it, your teammate dodges it for them. So annoying.
Baron, now up and available. It's been a very, very close game so far. There's only 500 gold currently in it. It's a very quiet as well. 12 kills to 7. It's not the bloodiest game we've ever seen out of VL. Not even close by that metric. We'll see if anything else comes of this. Bradman aggressing onto Big, but this 2-item Maokai really not that afraid. We can see pings coming down towards this top side from Chaos.
I think if you're Chaos, you're fine with the game being this slow right now. Yeah, I mean, you have a Gwen, a Kai'Sa, and a Victor. A slow game probably kind of suits you, but...
I mean, both sides scale incredibly well. Tristana, Maokai, Ahri on the other side.
Yeah. They do, I feel like Gwen scales better than Maokai. I feel like Kai'Sa, Tristana is pretty close.
Tristana scales better than Kai'Sa.
I think it's close.
Because you can auto from much further away.
I think the thing that Tristana has over Kai'Sa in the late game is that obviously her auto attack range gets longer with every level.
She also just randomly blows up whoever walks into her auto range because the explosive charge is funny.
Yeah, and Kai'Sa can teleport over a quarter of the map because her Nautilus hit an auto attack. So, you know, ADCs are fun and balanced. I think a lot of the rest of this game is going to come down to the Drakes that come. If one of these two teams secures both of the dragons that are going to come up, or the next two dragons that come up, oh, there's a pick here.
They find a way onto Tom. The Warrior Trickster will keep him safe for now. Did have to force the Cosmic Radiance, though, which is a bit awkward. Leaves a very difficult situation moving in towards this completely dark river. You don't have that safety net of dropping that Taric ultimate. Frank and Cookie doing a very good job of threatening with their CC at this entrance. See, Beeg is not with the team either, so the majority of their blind engage is gone with that Nature's Grasp not being with them.
Yeah, rough one trying to walk through the jungle. They didn't have mid-prio and they walked in to contest this blind area. They're going to try and contest this Drake now. And this could decide the game here.
Most certainly could. We see Voidseeker going slightly wide, but Beth is on a flank. He does get stunned up by the gravity field and cannot use the Spirit Rush to safety. Both teleports from the top lane is coming in now. Bradman immediately has to dash away, but Frank finds another hook onto Tom. This time, Dragon goes across to Chaos, but the Cyclone lands onto 3. Frank is already dead. The clone is blown up, but it's only the clone. Beeg going flying in while the rest of the team chases Bradman down. Beeg is just buying so much space. Bramble Smash comes in and a beautiful flash will keep him alive. Tiga's now going to run him down. Killer Instinct used. He will fall. Cookie now next on the list. 3 members of Light move back into the river. Bradman has rejoined the fight on a flank as Cookie has to use the E to stay a little safe. There's no easy way of re-engaging here, so it will be a winning fight for the side of Chaos.
Yeah, Light have a really difficult time starting fights. Very good at counter-engaging fights, but the biggest thing they have as an engage tool is Maokai ultimate. Maokai has to TP down. His TP finishes after the Gwens. The Ahri gets insta-popped after stepping on the slow field from the Victor, and I don't know. They try and continue to play it out, but I think the play's done. The second Ahri's dead, to be honest.
It's definitely not easy.
His Voidseeker's
another
hard.
Voidseeker has to use that Spirit Rush to safety once again.
Oh,
another one tags.
And
has to flash away from the hook.
That's rough.
Sheer pressure of this bot lane duo coming out of Chaos.
Yeah, that's really rough. Beth respawns from the previous fight, walks back up mid lane, and has to recall again immediately. It's blows her flash, no teleport. Vortex are going
The
to
Lich
position around
Bane.
this Nash. So
The Lich Bane is an interesting pickup as well because it's good on Uri if you can weave autos between your combo. Stun lands onto Cookie. Warbase jumping forwards, has the explosive charge down, but won't find the full charge of it. Full control of the Baron is now relinquished back to Light, and they're just going to start it up. They know that 3 members are not able to keep playing this. Cookie is incredibly low, but does have that Grand Starfall. See Frank looking to step in aggressively. Void Seeker tagged onto the Baron, so that's going to go back on full cooldown. Frank now going to give Tom an angle to engage. Cyclone comes in onto 3. Now lands onto Bradman and Tiga once again as Frank is blown sky high. Cosmic Radiance comes down and the rest of the team can start fighting forwards. Cookie comes in to the middle of 5 people and is annihilated from the rift. Tiga's next on the list, down in an explosion of what I would love to call glory. Mechary is next as Bradman gets charmed up by Beth, and just like that, 4 members are wiped from the rift by Light, and they turn back to the Baron.
yeah, nice clean play. They get 4 for 0. Is Beth going to get out here?
Mechary has found her, and she's stuck in a rock and a hard place. Charm lands a lot of damage. Mechary might have bitten off more than he could chew here. One more next skill shot to land denotes the kill. Everything's going slightly wide, but Beth takes a tower shot and Frank's in the area. Hook goes wide, Orb goes wide. Baron goes to Light. But it's a consolation prize, but it goes over to Mechary.
That was the weirdest game of Mundo Dodgeball I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. That was the strangest Mundo Dodgeball game. But yeah, Light find a good pick. They get onto Cookie, blow Cookie's flash, force Cookie to have to base. Then they use the Baron. They know that they're going to be able to start the Baron uncontested, and the Vortex have to walk into them. And then Tom finds a nice angle to turn with Frank stepping up way too far forward. All of the cooldowns that they blew to catch Cookie was enough. When Cookie does eventually ult back in, insta blown up. Nice reaction from Light. They turn their attention straight onto the Pantheon. They're playing first target, and they're managing to get the wins in these fights. And they find good baits, and a lot of it is coming through this Wukong. The Wukong from Tom is doing a lot of work this game. We are less than a minute away from the next dragon, and if Chaos get it, then they can very happily stall the game out. If Light get it, we're looking at a maximum dragon game, which is interesting.
We can see Light are the ones with first entrance into the river as a group. They have to go back to their waves. They are not in a good state. But both the carries of Chaos are on this top side currently. Tiga's looking to reset with 30 seconds left on this dragon.
Oh, that's very late.
It's a very late reset. Mechary stepping down very aggressively. Frank is in the wings. You can see Tom really wants to just find a pick before this starts. So much vision on this bot side for the side of Chaos, though. Need to start clearing some of this away. Howie and Beeg just getting rid of the ward directly in the pits. Beth looks for a charm. It goes ever so slightly wide. Howie steps forward, finds a stun onto 2. In goes Tom, finds the Cyclone onto 3. A beautiful start to the fight. Cosmic Radiance will keep everybody alive. Frank will fall. Next will Tiga. Zhonya's will save him for a second longer, but it's a double kill for Warbase, who is now tanking up the tower in the gravity field. Beeg is keeping Bradman entertained on the bot lane. And ladies and gentlemen, just like Bradman, are you not entertained by game number 1 of this series? The push down mid lane is emphatic. This dragon, a afterthought for the side of Light as they break open the base, and with 20-second death timers and Mechary being the only member left to defend, there's nothing left to happen. A beautiful charm. The TP comes in. It should just be cancelled. That it is. Mechary will fall. Bradman is kept a mile from home, and Light will take game number 1.
Yeah, good clean. Well, I say clean. The early game felt a little bit rough to begin with, but Light managed to pull it out. It was an interesting game. There was lots going on, lots of action, lots of fighting, and really the Wukong, the 20 out of 21 KP on the Wukong, kind of crazy. I think you got to give MVP to Phantom for that game. He was really the driving force behind that early turnaround for Light, and just, was involved in literally everything from then on out.
Yeah, absolutely was an incredible game coming out of Tom there. We'll see if he can keep it up in the rest of the series shortly. We going straight into the next game, or are we taking a couple of minutes?
It's up to you. You happy to go straight into the next game, or do you want to go grab a drink or something?
Go straight into the next game if you would like.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm more
Let's
than fine with that.
go for it. It's one of the benefits of these games all having been played. We don't have to wait 11 million years for VL players to sort themselves out, and then wait through all the 6 cancelled drafts and missed picks and yeah. Okay. Let me get this all set up and ready to go. Bear with me 1 second.
No rush. How are we doing at home tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Are you all enjoying our evenings?
There are people in chat. Oh, there are people watching, which is nice. Hello, everybody. We will be getting into Game 3 very quickly, or Game 2 very quickly.
Game 3, we've missed the game.
I was going to say, yeah, we skipped what there's no reason why we would ever skip this game. Somebody doesn't do something absolutely atrocious in this game.
I mean, I didn't see this game, so I've no idea what you could be talking about. I might have a bit of an aneurysm in the game if that's the case.
You saw me talking about it.
Oh, was this what we were talking about the other day?
This is what we were talking about the other day. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, right. Let's change the screens over so we are in game and paused at 10 seconds.
Yep.
Alright, let's go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, and your champion is in this game, Clifford.
Yes, my champion, the greatest champion in all of League of Legends. The
One of my champions. 2 of my champions are in this game as well.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Dean also on his main champion, so proves to be a very interesting game.
Yeah, Dean back in for game 2. Beth playing game 1 as a substitute. And Tiga might be in trouble here.
Certainly could be. Not a huge amount of CC up and readily available as the wall comes down. Tiga forced to start Arcane Shift to get over the wall.
Yeah.
That's painful for Dean, actually.
That's worse for Dean than it is for Ezreal, right?
Yeah, Ezreal doesn't mind starting Arcane Shift. It just means he loses a bit of pressure on wave number 1. Not the easiest lane to get pressure on wave number 1 in anyway. Whereas Dean now has absolutely no kill threat until level... or no damage threat until level 3.
Yeah, that's really rough, actually. Why would you start all into Ezreal? Why are we invading Ezreal's side of the map? If we're starting all, why are we not just going top and making Ornn flash?
Maybe Dean was hoping he could proc the phase rush with the wall displacement.
Wait, does it actually? Surely
It procs electrocute as well.
It does hit.
It counts as being hit by an ability. It doesn't specify it has to be a damaging ability. It's just being hit by an attack or an ability.
Yeah, this game is coded so weirdly. I swear to God. But yes, Yuumi is in this game, so I'm going to be hypercritical of everything that Taui does or doesn't do. And level 1 Yuumi Vayne is horrendous. This is not a lane. You don't get to operate, so...
Level 1 Vayne, normally fine. Level 1 Vayne, when you don't have a support there to back you up, not so great.
Yeah. It's a nice Q lands though, so we have to give him that. Taui should be jumping off more often. It's a level 1 Renata. He should have been jumping off and weaving some auto attacks in, but that's fine. It's okay.
We're seeing the tank assassin mage paladin death knight marksman assassin that is Ornn at work in the top lane.
I just realised that my camera was locked onto Yuumi, so I'm back on direct camera now.
Oh, damn it.
My camera wasn't locked onto Yuumi.
Level 3 retained in this mid lane. Dean taking a big chunk of damage. Not a fun lane for the Anivia. Almost everything you can throw can be reflected back at you. Very, very difficult time just trying to exist.
I wonder what. Obviously, we don't see the drops, so I wonder what order Light have picked this, and if the Malphite was the R5.
Possibly.
I actually don't know.
Unsure.
Mekari, you were in the
Have
game.
a look. I can have a look. We have the draft screenshots.
Oh yeah, that is a thing.
Bear with me. I will do a very quick speedy check. We don't have the draft screenshots because I'm being trolled by my div routine.
Mekari, if you're still here, do you remember what the R5 was for Light this game? I really don't like their draft. I don't understand what they've R5'd here. What advantage they thought they were getting. I imagine it can only be the Malphite as a gank coming mid.
Certainly is Tom looking in for the gank in the bot lane as well. Mekari taking a good chunk of damage, but the wall separating them. Cookie is ready and waiting on the bot side, finds the 3 talent strike, when becomes lightning tags as well, forces the flash. Audacious charge was already used, so flash follows from Cookie. Exhaust comes down, heal, ghost, and flash all also used by the Light bot lane. You'll take that for just your Zinzal's flash and your Mel's flash in the mid lane.
Yeah, lots of well, every summoner blown for the bot lane of Celestial Light. So this is going to be repeat gankable. Vayne already doesn't have a fun time when paired up with a Yuumi. So
Fun fact, we completely brain turn off and forgot Beth changed, so we didn't ban Anivia.
to be fair,
the order.
you have a good matchup there. You have Mel into Anivia. That's absolutely fine.
I would guess that R5 was Yuumi or Vayne would make the most sense, but I cannot be sure.
Man, if R5 is Yuumi or Vayne, I'm confused like crazy.
Stun comes down onto Bradman in the top lane as Tom looks at something, forces the flash quite early on. Pre-level 6 flash off of Ornn means that B can start to abuse this lane a lot more.
But I'm
coming down onto this dragon, knowing Tom is on the top side.
I'm so confused with this draft, by the way. It's giving me heartburn.
This.
I genuinely have heartburn. I don't understand how they've ended up with this draft. How they've been countered mid lane. They don't have a very hard winning top lane. Like Ornn just gets to sit here and scale for free into Malphite, and they end up with Vayne Yuumi into Ezreal and Arta. I don't feel like they have a winning lane.
Only semi-winning matchup is the Volibear into Zinzao, and even then that depends on the Volibear player.
And jungle matchups as well. I personally, I don't think there is a single jungle matchup where it's like, oh, the X person is playing this jungler, I can't do anything in this game, because a lot of invading actually comes from lane pressure anyway. Like, the Zinzao couldn't invade the Volibear's Raptors if Anivia has mid lane push, for example, right? So even in that regard, whilst it may be a decent matchup for the Volibear, they never are truly just 1v1ing as junglers, so having that advantage matchup really doesn't mean anywhere near as much as having an advantaged matchup in one of your solo lanes, or getting support counter pick or something like that. Oh, this Cookie's coming back bot lane.
He is looking on bot lane once again onto the summonerless bot lane of Light. Tom moving back out towards this top side. So the reset is going to be channeled for Cookie for now. Dean now with that ultimate available has a much easier time just getting a little bit of chip damage down onto Mekari. The only ability in the kit outside of the W that cannot be reflected back at the Anivia.
Like, the more I look at this, what do Light do here? What do they do in this game? Cookie's cool.
Invade onto Cookie. The wall does a lot. Audacious Charge comes in. Beeg is there just to make sure that Cookie is dead to rights. One more auto will do it. Looks like they're trying to donate it over to Tom. Flash forwards. Would have waited for the Thundering Smash, but...
I was singing his praises from game one, and that was the stupidest flash I've ever seen. Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. Why are you
I mean,
flashing?
still only missed out on 1 kill in this entire series so far.
I mean, that's true. Yeah. He has 21 out of 22 KP over the entire series, which is good. But that was a really weird flash.
We'll have to see if that goes punished at all in this game. So the Cosmic Drive going to be the first item for this Volibear. Big working towards that Hollow Radiance, as is Bradman. The Grubs are started up. Will be the first objective for Light of the game. First time they've got an objective before the enemy team have 3 in this series.
Here's a Mel and Ivia question. Because the E is point and click, when you reflect it, confirmed
Guaranteed back
hits,
to
right?
Anivia.
Yeah, okay.
Any point and click will always go back to the caster, guaranteed. Any skill shot will go back in the direction of the original caster after it has been reflected. So,
Right.
you know, like an Ezreal Q. If I fire an Ezreal Q and it gets reflected after I've moved 5 units to the right, it will fire 5 units to the right.
I see.
Dean looking for a trade onto Mekri in the mid lane. Big has appeared. She had a bit of a
somehow.
wander down from top lane.
Somehow managing to get the push against an Ornn, which should never happen personally. I wonder what this Ornn is, I wonder what the Ornn is maxing. Can I take a look? Oh, this is why. He's maxing Q. He's maxing Q.
Oakhorn is a thing. Not typically in tank matchups though. Mekri taking another chunk of damage. Does find the root. Good bit of damage. But Dean is so incredibly safe with this passive. Warbase, however, very low. All sums back up on this bot side. It was not punished.
Oh, flash
Dean
forward.
flashing forwards. Forces Mekri's flash. Does pop the egg off of tower shots, however.
Dean felt bad for Tom. He wanted to randomly waste his flash as well. he had to waste his flash.
Duo.
He had to waste his flash and passive to make Tom feel better about himself.
Mekri now TP'd back, going to stop Dean from being able to interact with the lane in any way, shape, or form. Mekri now much easier time punishing this Anivia. No passive means you are always under threat. As Beak has just walked into Bradman.
Ooh,
Ultimate used. Unstoppable force. But in comes the Call of the Forge God. No way to block this now. Ooh, attempts to animation cancel the auto with the Bellows Breath. Doesn't quite find it, so still a favorable trade for Big. Bradman, no mana. Really can't stay for too long as Mekri has eyes on Tom as he's clearing off Sim Vision. 3 members strong in this river. When becomes lightning tag, stun comes down and shield will land. The handshake pulls Tom back in. Has to use the ultimate, but it will not be enough. Cookie now onto Dean. Another bit of CC lands, and this Anivia should be dead. Through Talon Strike has been used. When becomes lightning, goes wide. Present guard has to be dropped. And a beautiful usage of the hostile takeover actually means that Cookie's health bar just starts to vanish. Bailout comes down, but Mekri finds the execute. Good route onto Towie as well as he tries to jump over to his mid laner. Feats of Warfare will go across to the side of Chaos of a very good fight on the bottom side. And Mekri now sitting very happy at 3-0.
Yeah, this Mel's going to do a lot of work here. Warbase and Tao, you were a little bit out of position. Warbase's approach, Warbase's approach was very aggressive, just presenting himself into the middle of 3 people and being like, "I'm going to fight you. Come fight me too," which is criminal on a zero item level 7 Vayne, by the way. With no CC in front of him, because his Volibear was already dead.
Now, first item starting to come through for a number of people, though. The Archangels completed for Mekri. Hollow Radiance for both top laners. Cosmic Drive for Tom. Trinity Force just completed for Tiga as well. Starting to hit some of our item breakpoints for the early stages of this game. 12 minutes in, 4 minutes on the next dragon. I believe one more dragon will secure feats of strength, or one more neutral will secure feats of strength for the side of Chaos. And in order for Light to get it, they will need this first tower along with 2 other objectives. All the Forge God used in top side is Cookie. Stepping up, be good use of the ultimate to stay safe there.
I mean, Beak should never be dying in this top lane matchup, but I feel like Bradman could be doing a lot more damage to him if he had have maxed his W first. You can see how much damage the W is actually doing every time he uses it, and how little damage the Q's doing. Dean's in trouble though.
Certainly is. When it comes lightning tag, or there's just charge in. It would be another kill going across the Mechary. Rampage now. So that golden eclipse is used to block out what would have been the light in Dean's eyes. Tom now just trying to hold this wave for his mid lane and not doing so very successfully, however, thanks to how strong Mechary actually is.
Oh, he's gonna die.
Just poking him out. Does use the ultimate. W is used. Mechary took a lot of damage there. Will trade back as Mechary goes unstoppable with thanks to that passive execute. But that's a kill back you're more than happy to take.
Yeah, Tom maintaining his KP as well. There's a flank, TP flank coming here, and Tiga and Frank have no idea.
Completely unawares. Wallbite stepping forward quite aggressively. Tiga already used the arcane shift. There is a stun available if the wall comes down. Still not being used. Where's the stun? They get out scot-free. The TP largely concludes nothing. Both the stuns used on Tiga is something as well as Frank's flash, but it's not really going to be punishable as the egg is popped for Dean as Tiga jumping forwards even more aggressively or always catches the wave. They will be able to save their Anivia for now, but realistically, I think if you're Chaos, you're more than happy with this this passage of events.
Sorry, I was yawning there. Not because the game's boring me, but because I'm old. Yeah, I mean, the TP flank from Anivia, it's a great idea. I think he does manage to get both the flashes in the bot lane as well from it, but yeah, it didn't look like he ever used his stun, and it's a 0 item Anivia. He's going for the rod and the tier. Obviously hasn't had a lot of access to income so far this game, being 3,000 gold down. Celestial Light are going to really need the game to slow down. If it keeps going at the pace it's going, they are going to get absolutely dumpstered here. Vortex are finding really good picks, really good kills. Mechary is so far ahead. How much gold is Mechary ahead here? Mechary is 2.2k ahead of Dean. Like, most of this gold lead is in the mid lane.
Herald started up and taken for Chaos. That secures feats of strength for them. As Beak is just taking negative damage from Bradman at this point. It's just a wet noodle fight.
Yeah, classic top lane shenanigans.
Dragon up in 45 seconds. Hard to say exactly how what the next play is going to be for either of these teams. We should enter a bit of a lull period here. But Light currently sitting behind. What is their avenue back into this game?
Oh, it's a weird one. I honestly don't know. I think getting the Vayne rolling is sort of the easiest way for them to find something in this game. Maybe take the next Drake. Hopefully take the next Drake to slow the game down, because the dragon stacking is also going to be a problem. It's going to take a really long time for this Anivia to come online. Just finished the Rod of Ages now, so that give it 9 more minutes and Anivia will, you know, have first completed item, the extra level. Tom's going to try and take this, and it's Beak is here as well though, so we never know. They could get it.
Beak is here indeed, as Dean is just keeping Mechary entertained in the mid lane. We will start this up, but Cookie sitting behind the pit, ready and waiting for an opportunity to steal this objective. It comes down, but a good smite from Tom will make sure that it goes into the back pocket of Light.
Yeah, that's what they should have been looking for, picking up that Drake. Now they should look to just try and take some camps away from the Xin Zhao. Just trying fun. Nice stun on the mid lane. Mechry's taking a lot of damage.
Dean also taking a lot of damage. Mechary flashes away. Tom flashes to follow. It's another kill going into this Volibear's back pocket. 100% KP in this game. The Bradman is here. Or the Forge God will spell at the end for Dean, as Cookie finds the Flash Woman comes Lightning Buffer onto Tom to allow for this engagement to continue. But Tom is so incredibly hard to kill. The healing is so much. Knocked up again. Will mean he finally falls to Cookie as he gets on the board this game.
It's going from bad to worse. They get a good pick, they overstay. Well, they don't overstay, but Dean does kind of save his flash for the next game. Doesn't try and flash away from the Ornn, and they're probably going to lose mid tower here.
Certainly seems likely as B finds a good engage onto Cookie. Cookie will drop here. Bailout does its best to save him, but a good use of the Unstoppable Force to punish this Xin there. Golden Eclipse comes in and finds the execute onto B. Nice little sad B emotes coming out of Meckery. 6-2-1 on this Mel has put Chaos in the backpack.
Yeah, Meckery really is carrying his teammates right here. Obviously, they're doing well to set him up, but he's really been unpunished, unfazed, and just kind of free-scaled into this game. Undoubtedly the single strongest person on the Rift right now. And what Meckery wants to do in this game is just extend this lead. I think they now need to prioritize getting to these neutral objectives. Meckery needs to make sure that he's there on time. He needs to be one of the people holding the chokes, and if he is, it's so hard for Celestial Light to even play this game. I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, definitely hard as Wrathman has arrived in the middle again. Tom has found on a flank, but Dean should be good night. Dean should see his good night, rather, as Tom is just fighting Cookie on the side. Wait, Dean TP'd out before he went into Egg.
Yeah, he TP'd before he went into Egg.
Tom finds onto Cookie, which means it will just be a 1-for-1 as Beak has now arrived to the party. Looking to have a little bit more of a Barney than already had. Tom very happy to take that trade, I would wager, as the kill also going back onto Meckery. Golden Eclipse did have to be used to secure it. Wild that Dean escaped that with anything more than a scrape.
Yeah, Dean's showing his Anivia knowledge right there. He obviously very experienced on the champion. So unless you play a lot of Anivia, you probably don't know that if you start channeling your teleport before you get egged, as long as you don't get CC'd, the teleport still goes through even when you do get egged. So smart play by Dean, managing to escape. He probably realized that all of the CC was down, and he gets a free teleport out of the fight because of how the Anivia passive works. So yeah, it does well. But overall, the fight doesn't go amazing for Celestial Light. Bradman keeps roaming down to this mid lane and just essentially handing kills over to Meckery every opportunity he gets. B cannot do anything about the push on this top side now. And it's just going to keep getting worse and worse from here, because now the ornaments have started coming through as well. So any form of scaling that Light might have is quickly just going to be eaten away by the gold value that these ornaments are going to give.
Certainly is. Herald barreling down this mid lane here. Meckery moving up to B with the rest of his team as Cookie finds way onto B. Charge goes off, but it doesn't quite kill the tower. We could see a fight start here as Cookie goes over the wall. Both mid lanes moving in. B slightly missing the Unstoppable Force onto Cookie. When becomes Lightning tags and Warbase in the back end of that fight. And any chance of a favourable fight for Light has just gone down the drain.
Yeah, unfortunate that the Unstoppable Force misses, but it's one of those things that does happen. He did have the flash, he could have flash ulted, but is it even worth it for the Xin kill?
Hard to say. Meckery saying in chat, Pobla R. Yeah, it's a Pobla-esque R. It's a Wizard-esque R, if anybody has seen the Twilight teaser. There's been a few of those in the last couple of months. Seems like Malphite is a bit too hard for some VL players. I kid, of course.
See how much damage this W does?
Yeah. The B might just be dead. Charge comes in, has to flash away. Call to the Forge God if this lands, and it does. It might just be good night for B. That it is. The Dragon's been started up by Light on the other side. Drop barrage tags onto Warbase. In comes the hostile takeover, which means Dean's health is going to get rinsed. Tom has to ult away. Dean, the first one to fall. Tiga will finally find some interaction in this game. Cookie is being rinsed on the other side. Golden Eclipse comes down to take out Warbase, but Tom is so strong. Bradman's TP'd in, however, there's so little left for him to be able to do. He's able to get the dragon and stall the stacking a little bit longer, but he will fall, and alongside him will his pet cat as Towie drops to Tiga. 3-0-1 off this one fight. This Ezreal is suddenly online, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the problem with picking Yuumi is when you're playing Yuumi and your team is behind, you are quite literally the most useless thing in the entire game. The gold lead is so big now that when Celestial Light are sandwiched in between Mel and her teammates, they can't commit to any side. They don't have any strength. All of the gold is in the Volibear. Volibear commits to a fight, he has to completely abandon his squishies, and with B getting solo killed in the top lane, it immediately becomes a 5v4 when Bradman teleports in. And Vortex Chaos doing very well, pressing their leads very well. They know when they should fight, they know how they should fight, they've got a comp that they can execute clearly, and yeah, it looks like they're going to handedly take this game from here. I really don't see how Celestial Light come back from, what is this, an 8k gold lead at 24 minutes? And obviously they do have 2 dragons. Tom was able to steal that last one there, so there is 2 Infernal Drakes over to Celestial Light, but the wallet diff is kind of huge.
That it is. Also, Tom now missed 2 total kills in this series. Just thought I'd point that out.
Yeah, he missed that one a while ago, but yes, he has 2 of the kills in the entire series for Celestial Light, not been involved with. It's a good showing, but
covering his top laner as we see the Unstoppable Force lands onto 2. Teleport coming in from Mekri, however, and Frank is in the wings. Big is going to be the focus of the Call of the Forge God as the entire team arrives. The Avengers have assembled onto the top side, and Tom is left in isolation. Has to use the Thundering Smash movement speed to try and get away. A good flash handshake will keep him in the fight for now. A flash away, hostile takeover will land and force him to walk back into the team. When comes Lightning Guards, the Audacious Charge to go forwards, and Tom will force a lot of resources, but will sacrifice his life with no reward. Mid lane tower will be claimed, but this Baron is now entirely Chaos's to take.
yeah, Beak and Tom very, very hard committing into fighting an Ornn and a Xin Zhao, but when you're a Volibear with Cosmic Drive and Spirit Visage and your teammate is a Malphite with a Thornmail and Hollow Radiance, you don't do any damage to a tank or a bruiser, and the Xin Zhao and the Ornn just absolutely shred you. And yeah, I don't think you ever win that fight. It's a really difficult one for them to play. And when they do end up dying and going down, they also immediately give over the Baron, because we're at that kind of time in the game now where, you know, two deaths for your side means neutral objectives are free. Even the Baron, when it only spawns at 25 minutes, taken immediately, and the gold lead is getting bigger. Well, not bigger necessarily, but the gold league is looking more insurmountable because now there is a Baron in the hands of Vortex Chaos, and they're just going to push for towers now, and the gold lead will just get bigger from here.
That it will. See, this inhib tower now being bashed on as Tom is just looking for an angle, but Warbase not really able to step forwards. This tower will be forfeit. The death cap now completed for Mekri on this Mel. 8, 2, and 6 so far in this game. Dean, happy to just keep taking this engagement, pull the wave away, force them to not be able to take this bot lane tower, but his life will be the forfeit with all 4 other members moving down towards him. Call of the Forge God comes in, slowed up, knocked up into the egg. No teleport to save him this time as Mekri enters his 2nd rampage of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Dean, you could say he's wasting time. He's wasting time down there trying to catch a wave, trying to slow down the oppression, the push from Vortex Chaos. The Light are doing well at keeping these waves pushed out against the Baron. So in a way, it's an empty death. They don't really gain a lot from killing an 0-3 Anivia. And it does hold this tier 2 by the looks of it as well. So you take that one as a good death from Dean, but if you're at the point where your mid laner needs to be proxying and catching waves to stop your towers getting pushed down, you know the game is in a dire state for you.
It certainly is. Taking about a 7,000, 8,000 gold lead in favor of Vortex Reborn Chaos as this third dragon for both teams is started up. Teleports coming in. We can see Tom going to be kept out by Tiga and Frank. Forced to walk the long way around. There was a flash used somewhere there. I didn't quite see where. Bradman, as he misses the Call of the Forge God onto Dean, but the dragon is being rinsed. Tom still not able to get into the river just yet. Bradman gonna have to try and get away. Cookie comes in, but a good hostile takeover tags onto 2. Warbase, however, is free firing. Cookie has to flash away, but there's so much damage. Warbase will pick up his second kill of the game. Nivirot is doing what it can as slow lands onto Bradman, but both the top jungle are stunned. Bradman now next in the sights for this Vayne. A shutdown goes across to Warbase, and that might just be a little bit of the gold back that Light needed.
Oh, yeah, they managed to pick some gold back. Vortex Chaos are now on Soul Point, so in 4 minutes and 20 seconds, this game is going to get decided at the very least. But Light do manage to pick up a few kills, get a couple of shutdowns over. They go onto the Vayne as well, which is probably the person you want them to go onto. Unfortunately, the tower objective gold just fell off there, which is very sad.
Dean is an inch from death. He will burn to the Leandries. They get the tower, but at the cost of their mid laner's life, I'm not entirely sure that is what you want.
But yeah, back to my point originally, that when Light were contesting that last dragon, their setup is so rushed. They're not at the objective in enough time that they have to run through the jungle just absolutely blind, and you know they lose the dragon because of it. But they do manage to find a fight afterwards and kind of get away with their very rushed setup.
They do. Warbase rooted up by Mel. Referee trying to do what he can. Tom is just buying space for his AD carry to live. Beeg was forced out by Cookie on the other side, so this tower should, in theory, now fall.
Yeah, I mean the gold lead is slowly shrinking for Vortex Chaos, so it really does feel like they have to press this now. But I also don't dislike them waiting for the next 3 minutes and securing the soul. This Mel is so strong. Ornament completed for the Mel. Actually, all ornaments are completed at this point, so they have an extra 5k in terms of item value on top of this 6,000 gold lead. So in theory, you could say it's about an 11,000 gold lead in terms of items.
Don't forget all of the stats that Ornn gains for free with every ornament in the game.
Ornn gains stats for having ornaments in the game?
Yeah, check. I will double check exactly how much now.
10%?
Ornn gains 10% armor, health, MR from all sources, increased by 4% of these bonus stats per legendary or item Ornn upgrades.
So he's getting an extra, what, 4, 8, 12? Jesus.
He's down 30% amp, 21 armor, 49 magic resistance, 654 health. It is why Heartsteel is one of the mathematically correct items on this champion.
Yeah, especially if the game does go, you know, to about 30 minutes as well. You'll get a lot of chances to proc the Heartsteel. Oh, it's looking rough for Light. They're in a big hole here. Chaos are on the soul point. Light need to find a miracle pick or a series of picks in a row, or even find a good fight with Chaos starting this Baron without doing their due diligence. But Chaos are playing this game well, so I don't see them just, you know, going, fuck it, we'll go on Nash. What's the worst that could happen? I don't see them doing that.
A fight starting, however. Bradman caught out. Warbase doing so much damage as Ornn is getting rinsed. The final hour hasn't even been dropped. A good flash away from the hostile takeover. It misses everybody. Down goes Cookie. Warbase goes on clean, but Tiga's on the backside doing everything he can. Bradman able to get away for now. Frank trying to survive. Will just barely, but Tom is running the ram down. We know which god wins. Tigo will die on the backside. And just like that, you said they won't say fuck it, Cliff. But it would seem that chaos reigns supreme when against chaos.
Yeah, I mean, what are they doing? They don't need to be there. They don't ever need to contest it. Frank misses the ult. Bradman misses his ult. Warbase just gets to dash around like a maniac or roll around like a maniac. And, you know, didn't really feel like he was in any threat for the entire team fight. And I just spent about 30 seconds glazing chaos for how they've been playing the game. And they immediately go and prove to me that I should have given them negative glaze instead.
Dragon is up and available. You can see Warbase moving down towards that while the rest of the team start up this Baron. Problem is, I believe it is on vision on this bot side. The pings are coming down onto it, so Warbase, if he cannot kill it quickly, will have to give Soul over. Push up Barrage lands onto top side, so they have no idea this is happening, and they actually get the Dragon. Can they get out with their lives? As the Baron goes down as well, only time will tell. They're being ran down. It is a maximum Dragon game. There's a teleport coming in from Bradman. Warbase now caught in a rock and a hard place, and several members of Chaos. Dean has TP'd in to try and save his AD carry, but good night to the AD carry. Mechary finds a double kill, could look for the triple, and definitely will. Cookie will claim that one for himself, and just like that, in a blink, the lead that Light had found very aptly for the champion that Mechary is playing eclipses Light in a second. There is nothing left for them to find. This could just be the game. 30-second death timers. Tom and Beagle do what they can, but they're CC locked. They are very, very tanky. And goes Tom, looking onto Cookie, able to find it. But if he falls, Cookie will live, thanks to the bailout from Frank. Another Eclipse onto Dean. And every member drops dead where they stand. A wave arrives. And with 5 seconds on the bot lane duo, this game is all but over for Light. As Chaos will reign above. As Light are taken to game at number 3. And stand to lose their first series.
Oh, that was such a turnaround. Light found a great fight. Warbase finally found some freedom. And they took the Baron. They took their 3rd Infernal. And then all of a sudden, it just goes to absolute horror with Warbase getting teleported on, getting collapsed on. Maybe should have moved more towards the Anivia's teleport. But yeah, they unfortunately do manage to lose a game that it looks like they were just on the verge of flipping that back over for themselves. So should be an interesting game 3. Game 1 was very one-sided. Game 2 was mostly one-sided until the end, where we kind of flipped it backwards and forwards a little bit. So I'll be interested in into Game 3 and seeing how this goes from here. I do need to go for a quick break because I'm old and I need the toilet. So we will be back in about 5 minutes, and we'll just jump straight into Game 3 for you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back and ready for game number 3 of this, what has been explosive series so far. And there's been some interesting picks. Well, an interesting pick, rather. No, maybe 2. I'd say 2 interesting picks.
Yeah,
Three?
yeah.
3, actually.
3, I could say 3.
3.
Let's go over to the game screen now, and we'll get the game started in 3, 2, 1, go. So now we are live and in game. But yeah, 3 interesting picks. I think the Nasus and the Trundle and the Ivan support.
And the Olaf, you know, I didn't even see the Nasus, so there's 4. Olaf, not really a champion we see in the jungle anymore.
True. Yeah. Definitely much more of a top laner. Trundle jungler or top laner. Personally, I love a bit of Trundle. I don't think I would play Trundle into Nasus, but maybe Bradman's cooking. Personally, I think Bradman's overcooking.
I think he's burnt it a little bit.
Yeah, because part of the charm of Trundle is the amount of auto attacks you get out when you're 1v1ing on the side lane against these tanks, but you cannot get any auto attacks out when you're 1v1ing a Nasus, so
Who
I
doesn't
don't
love
know.
a cripple?
Okay.
It's crippled.
Depends what kind. I mean, what? Sorry?
There is a total, I think, 3 cripples in champion kits in the game. I couldn't tell you what they are off the top of my head, but Nasus W is one of them. What defines a cripple as different to a slow, you may ask? A cripple also reduces attack speed.
Lee Sin is a cripple, right? Lee Sin E.
I believe Lee Sin E is a cripple, yes.
What's the third one?
That's actually more than that. Hang on, I'll look it up on the side because this early game should be pretty quiet.
Yeah, I mean, Nasus Trundle top lane, Olaf Nocturne jungle. There's going to be a lot of following.
Malphite E is a cripple.
Malphite E doesn't slow though; it just slows auto
Malphite E
attacks.
is an attack speed, so yes.
So cripple is just attack speed slows, then, right?
Cripple. Let me have a look exactly how it is. Crippled. Unit is crippled as a reduced total attack speed for the duration.
Right. Okay.
Cripples in League are Wither, Malphite E, and Fiora W.
Not Lee Sin E.
No.
Doesn't the second? I thought the second hit
No,
of
that's
Lee
a
Sin
movement
E.
speed slide.
Just movement speed. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes, no, it is Fiora W does reduce attack speed as well as, you know, Frozen Heart being the obvious choice. Is Towie taking a lot of damage in the early stages of this lane.
Why are we playing Ivan support?
I don't know.
And we're playing Ivan support without Rengar, by the way.
Stun comes down onto Frank, but Tiga able to find a good blade caller onto the Lucian. It's one of my preferred Xayah matchups, this one, because once his E is down, it's very, very easy to get that E pull back through. And of course, later in the game, that gets much harder because it's on such a low cooldown, but I digress.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, by the time the E cooldown is low enough, Xayah should have scaled into the game already, so...
It depends. If you go Navori on second, it's already low enough.
True.
Lucian. Will be a very quiet early game, though. Neither of these junglers really want to do anything until 6. Laners don't really want to do anything until 6. Bot lane could be a bit explosive, but we've not seen many 2v2 kills this series. I don't think we'll see many more this in this game. We'll see if Tom can keep up. He's only dropping 1 KP per game in this game.
I feel like we're going to see a Nasus solo kill or 2 in this game.
Possibly.
I don't see... Unless they're 4-5 manning this Nasus, so there is not a single person on their team that stands up to the Nasus 1v1.
Ket in chat. Xayah Lucian is mostly skill matchup in isolation, but mostly depends on how Lucian uses E. Yes, but I'm the best Xayah EUS has ever seen, so skill matchups always in my favor. With all the sarcasm in my voice, if you could not tell.
It's not a skill matchup if I'm just better.
Exactly. It is a me matchup. I mean, hey, Ezreal Lucian's a skill matchup, and I won both sides of that.
And probably screamed, "I'm so good at League of Legends" whilst doing it.
No, this was before. This was before that time. This was when I was on Frostbite Mayhem with Wimmango, Boom, and Co. We were screaming Ditect, which I believe was the
Towie, what was that
EDM.
E?
Yeah, it makes
Psychopath.
sense.
It makes zero sense.
It makes sense. It blocks feathers.
Yeah, but he still gets rooted, and then his shield is behind him and not facing the Xayah.
I mean, Xayah doesn't do damage outside of E early game. You should know this. You play with me enough.
But still, it's not worth it. It's bloody WTF.
Did he not block the majority of her damage and is still sitting at above 3/4 HP?
WTF King Lucian, it does the same thing.
Nah, that's too easy. Yes, this was playing against Ditect when he was in Div 4, so I wasn't screaming, "I'm so good at League of Legends" at that point in time.
Oh, come on,
So,
Big.
B. Gonna run Bradman down, not gonna go into the tower, doesn't have the mana. Keep chasing this down as Towie finds the Winter's Bite. Stun comes down, there's no cleanse, the barrier's popped for Tiga. Warbase is exhausted, now changing target onto Frank, who is also stunned up by those concussive blows. A beautiful use of the Relentless Pursuit will secure first blood for Warbase. Onto Frank, Tiga forced to reset as well, so Bestial Light with full control over this bot side, very happy to just start up this dragon.
I agree, Cat, by the way. I fully agree.
He's just saying that because reasons.
No, Xayah's a fake champion because she's only at 100% power when she's playing with Rakan, but Rakan is always at 100% power, so that's why Xayah's a fake champion.
Disagree. Rakan has not been Xayah's best duo for, I want to say, 2.5 years.
Should we look? I'll look that one up for you right now. Shall I look that one up?
I guess.
Let's
Yeah,
just-
Iron support. Interesting choice.
Into Lucian, by the way. How are you ever hitting your
He-
root?
Just taking a bit of trading in the mid lane. Has that tier already, but Cookie is looking not the level 6 yet as Big. Still able to get the better trades onto Bradman, who is going to start proxying now, but Tom is on this top side. Already, Tom down 1 kill.
Oh, it is dark time for Xayah, by the way.
Yes, no, she is entirely a counter matchup at the moment.
Xayah does not appear in any of the top 170 duos in
Yeah,
terms
she's
of win
almost
rate.
exclusively a counter champion at the moment, unfortunately for me.
Holy.
But in the games where she is good, she is very good.
I mean, yeah, I don't deny that. In a good Xayah game, Xayah is very good, but apparently Xayah just isn't good.
No, but I also would be the first person to tell you that.
Dude, this is
Ultimate
why
use on
Winner
the
is
top side
OP.
for Bradman, but he's not able to get the autos down. And a couple of autos will get it for Big, but it's not going to come through. Just a trade of the ultimates for now. Frank moving out on towards this top side, his warbase. Taking an aggressive trade onto Tiga here. Big completely out of mana once again. Oh, shush your face, Cat. It's not fun when Lucian's meta either. You just randomly die to a culling. Tom trying to take these grubs. He's going to get ulted on by Cookie. Does have the Ragnarok available, and he's going to pop it to try and escape. Methri dropping all the CC onto his face. Cookie has to try and flash forwards, but a good use of the Winter's Bite into Shockwave will keep Tom alive for now. Methri going to flash onto Dean, finds the knock-up as Bradman is here as well. The slow is strong, but Towie is here to assist. Stun should go down onto Mechri here, as it does. Frank getting the shield down as Cookie's being ran down by Big and will drop. A good turn of the fight by the side of Celestial Light allows them to find every angle they needed.
Yeah, Tom on the grub, he's a little bit too early. He does get caught out. There was a nice collapse coming in from Vortex, but a teleport out of Dean and Towie roaming up there already is enough to just barely save him. And then they turn the fight afterwards as well, with Big managing to absolutely boop Cookie on the head with his big old stick. Just swinging that thing around. And he's stacking. Actually, here's a point. We're nearly 10 minutes into the game. What do we think NASA's stacks are? No
Was
cheating.
it 6 per small, 12 per large? As he's going to get another
He's gonna
solo
get
kill
another one
here.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, plus 12. I'm going to say 280.
280? 280 seems fair. 159.
Okay, so I was miles off. I don't know
You were
NASA stat
miles off.
counts like I do Senna or
100.
Vigar, etc.
He's actually doing quite well considering the matchup. It can be a bit difficult. It can be a bit difficult into Trundle early because you have to position really well. Trundle will ever catches you out with the pillar, and you know you're a flashless champion with the Beaks NASA setup here. He can just kind of run you down, so you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of CS. Which you know you can see that Beak has had to sacrifice CS considering that he's only less than 10 ahead. And he has solo killed the Trundle. This is what I mean. You can get caught in a position like this if you early on when your Wither isn't as strong, and it's very difficult to play against the Trundle. So I think Beak's doing quite good to already be on the stacks that he's on.
Howie stepping up aggressively here, just to try and defend vision in this bot side bush. Tiga gonna find the pullback here, but Warbase is in the area. Culling comes down almost entirely onto Frank. This Ivan's just gonna get absolutely rinsed. Another concussive blows stack lands from that Winter's Bite as Bradman is running Beak down, forces the Ghost. That Subjugate, taking enough AD away at this point.
Yeah, Beak's staying as well. This guy's a psych. Why is he here?
Good healing from
Oh,
the passive.
shockwave.
Shockwave comes in the mid lane, blocked onto the dash away, as Dean should be able to just kill Mechary here. And that is 4 kills for the side of Celestial Light to Chaos's 0. Tom has only been involved in 1, so he's not keeping up that trend this game, at the very least.
Yeah, Tom very clearly texting or answering his Discord DMs when that fight started in the mid lane, because he could have reacted so much quicker to it. But Dean does manage to pick up the nice solo bolo onto the Galio of all things as well, which really shouldn't be happening.
No, absolutely should not.
Especially with the Galio going the MR Sunfire, right? Hollow Radiance first.
Yeah. I mean, we've said it about 60 times on this broadcast. It's been in every game so far, so I should hope that's Hollow Radiance.
Such a busted item. Like, honestly, certain champions, even if you're playing into an AD, it's so much better than Sunfire.
For the first time this game, feats of strength go across to Celestial Light in a clean sweep, no less. 4 kills to none, 3 objectives to none. Actually looking like the opportunity for a perfect game for Light as things stand, because it is very early to call it. Bradman looking onto Beag once again, very low on mana, is just able to run forwards, no mana for the Wither. Of course, Beag, 2-0, sitting on that Sheen, these Qs really start to hurt.
Yeah, he's also got 2,000 gold in his pocket as well, so he really doesn't want to fight Bradman right now. He wants to take his reset. Teleport is about to come up as well, so he's probably going to try and catch this wave before he does it. But he really doesn't want to fight right now because he probably has Trinity Force in pocket when he bases. So
Most
hopefully
likely.
he
It could be
doesn't
Iceborne
overstay.
Gauntlet.
It could be Iceborne. Iceborne's good here too, actually.
Lets you stick to things like the Nocturne, like the Trundle, a little bit easier.
Yeah,
Also,
and
a very
the
good game
armor's
for
nice.
armor.
Yeah, the armor is nice, especially when you consider that he's gone for the Lucidity boot. So it is the Frostborn Gauntlet, which, yeah, that's fine. I like Frostborn as an item. In this game...
Oh, Blue's real, my beloved.
Oh, yeah. No, please don't remind me of Blue Ezreal. Get that
The days
garbage.
where Frozen Mallet and Iceborne Gauntlet were buildable on this champion.
Oh, it was so bad. I hated
It was
everything.
so funny.
No, it wasn't. It was awful. You try and play an enchanter against Blue Ezreal.
No.
It's the worst
No.
thing you could ever fucking do.
You don't get to play. I
It's
kill you now.
horrendous.
Bye-bye.
And he never dies.
Despite
Tiga's
Tiger's
doing
Tiga so much damage out of the culling, and a beautiful timing on the Glacial Fissure. Tiga will live for now, thanks to the Blade Caller, I would wager. There's a fight going on in the top lane. Mechary forced to use the hero's entrance towards that bot lane as well, but this is just how strong this bot lane can be in the early stages. Warbase only on this Essence Reaver and doing so much damage.
being made aware that there was a pause that happened there. So one of the benefits of watching this replay is that we didn't have to sit through a pause, because the other day I had to sit through a big one. There's a dive top lane though.
Most certainly is. Good shockwave. Down goes Bradman. No resistances, very little
Big.
health. Dean happy to be on the board. And first tower goes across to Big.
Who was just tanking tower the entire time then, by the way.
Nasus moment.
Tank top lane, one item, and he is, yeah, no, the tower can just shoot at me, I don't care. Not bot
Paranoia
side.
going to be dropped onto Warbase, forces the flash, but nothing else will come of it.
Yeah, blowing the Lucian flash just before the dragon. That should still be down by the time dragon comes up, unless he has Cosmic Insight. Does he? He doesn't have Cosmic Insight, so it should still be down by the time the dragon comes up. He's a Lucian, so he is difficult to catch, but having that summoner gone is going to make him a little bit more vulnerable.
Bradman gonna interrupt Big's recall after dancing on him, but the Wither comes in. He's in the area, but is on vision. Herald goes down to Tom in the meanwhile, still on track for the perfect game. Light, they're doing everything they can to just choke Chaos out. A 5,000 gold lead near enough at 15 minutes into the game. The Lucian is maxing E second, Cat.
Yeah, E second.
Base stepping forwards. Would look for something on towards this bot side. Bradman cancelled on the reset by that E from Big, of which I don't know the name and I don't think I can to learn, because Nasus is not often in pro play or in any game that I cast. Big now going to be ghosted on, or ghosted away from, trying to survive here, but Cookie and Bradman are both here. But he's so incredibly tanky, he's so hard to kill. He's just turning around, queuing and healing thanks to the Nasus passive. He will just escape with his life.
Yeah, Cookie's flash a little bit late. He flashed after the fear chain had fallen off of the Nasus. I think if he flashes maybe half a second earlier and the fear gets off, they probably kill the Nasus there. So a little bit of a mechanical mistake from Cookie, and now there's a dive forming in this bot lane.
Certainly is, as Tom drops this Herald. This tower will fall without it, no problem. Tiga now has to flash away. Tom more than happy to just start walking towards Frank, as Daisy will be the next casualty in this fight. The Herald is ready and waiting. A good undertow tag on Cookie and Frank. Paranoia is used defensively, but Cookie is just going to get annihilated as Tom comes on the board. Hero's Entrance comes in to try and save Tiga, but Mekari may now have bitten off more than he could chew. Last cone is hit, I would assume, by Tom, as this Herald is now just going to be shepherded into this bot lane tier 2. Dean stepping in towards this mid lane, looking onto Mekari, looking on Tiga. Good shockwave tagged onto both. Taui flashes forward, finds the winner's bite, and just like that, both of them are annihilated. The dragon is the prize. It'll be soul point for Light. The bot lane tier 2 should fall as well. And they are rinsing through this game. 8,000 gold in the lead. Another tower falling in the mid lane. Light are on a tear. They took game 2 personally.
Yeah, very, very impressive from Light so far. Perfect game is still very much on the cards right now. 8k gold lead. Nasus is stacking kind of freely. They're flipping these plays that look like they should be disadvantageous plays and picking stuff up on them. There was a little bit of split focus on that dive that went down bot lane. I think they could have picked up at least one of the people if they stuck to the same person, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. They get the tower, they get the tier 2 as well. Then Dean finds a nice shockwave, and everything's going so well for Celestial Light. It's such a juxtaposition from the previous game.
Most certainly is. As we see just how confident Light are feeling at this point. They have full control of the map. They are not afraid of anything or anyone. Bradman does have a flank on Tom here. Undertow goes wide. Taui is in the wings. Concussive blows will mean that Bradman gets stunned up, and a good Ragnarok means he's just dead, as the pullback means nothing. Tiga now has to drop the ult. It's a double kill for Tom. There's nothing left for him to do. Frank finds the root as the Ragnarok runs out. He should be able to get out with his life. These undertows are still landing. Mekari going to taunt up both Taui and Tom. Another Winter's Bite tags onto Frank, and Warbase is now at the back of his jungle support duo. This mid lane tier 2 is what's in the eyes of Light. You can see Cookie looking on the flank, looking for a way to potentially stop this. Warbase is going to tank up the towers. The wave does drop. But another wave is here, which means this tower should not belong to this world. Beag's on bot lane, Dean's pushing top lane, and they could get all 6 towers before Chaos even find a kill.
Yeah, their macro movements are good. They're securing these towers. They're getting the free gold that's just sat there. Nasus is just sat there and stacked like 3 or 4 waves completely uncontested. Let's actually check the Nasus stacks now, like 10 minutes later. What's he at? 438.
There we go.
Yeah, so...
now he's off to the races.
This Nasus hurts already, and he's level 13. With 2 tank items, by the way.
Brutus!
How does Trundle ever kill this Nasus in the side lane?
In goes Cookie. Hero's entrance dropped as well. Ghost is used, but he's so CC chained. He can only now get the ultimate off. He will drop eventually. Surely. He does go down. The perfect game is longer on the cards. Big. Bradman picks up that kill. But this does give tempo for Utica.
Yeah, I mean, you send 4 people down to go and kill a Nasus, a singular Nasus. You're going to have to expect that the objective on the other side of the map is being given up for it. Maybe they can also get a tier 1 on the bot side for the Trundle, which would be a nice injection of gold, but they're still going to be in the same problem that they were in before, where Trundle can't really contest the Nasus in a 1v1 situation. If ever they want to kill the Nasus, they're going to have to send 3 or 4 people down. And Light are already showing that they're able to pick stuff up on the other side of the map, complete the cross-map plays, and it's going to get difficult. It's going to get hard. Vortex need to do a lot to come back into this game, but at least they're attempting to make those moves.
They most definitely are. They have picked up a kill and a tower at this point, but the gold lead is still 9,000 in favor of Light. Still such a hard game to come back from. We're almost at that point of no return. They're basically playing against themselves at this point. Like, can they stop themselves from making any mistakes? Because if they can, they will be able to close out this game in a very dominant fashion.
Not sure about the Trundle's items here. Now, maybe I'm cooking a little bit, but surely Hullbreaker second is actually the play. Because you get the auto attack. You get the auto attack reset from Ravenous Hydra. You get the auto attack reset from your Q, so you can instantly proc the first Hex Drinker stack. And with Beag having the Frozen Heart, your attack speed is already reduced. It actually makes the attack speed reduction more efficient for Beag by buying attack speed.
Yeah, but on the other side of that, you're never getting close to a tower on a side lane on your own anyway. Because you're always matching into this Nasus, or the Orianna who just wave plays into you.
No, yeah, that's true. They are going to find Beag again, and it's going to be another 4-man.
It's a lot of damage coming down, but this dragon is up and available, and it is Soul, so Beag will give his life, but 10 seconds. Tiga has to flash in the mid lane away from the shockwave coming out of Dean. Sitting on a very strong 3-0-3. We thought this Lucian would be a big part of the win, but it's only 1-0-2, sitting very, very happy, but not incredibly involved. This top lane tier 1 will also be the sacrifice, but this is a Cloud Soul for the side of Celestial Light on Nasus, Lucian, Olaf.
Yeah, Nasus, Lucian, Olaf love Cloud Soul. All of their ultimates scale so fantastically with the Cloud Soul. And it's another situation where Celestial Light are trading the life of Beag and 1 tower objective, or tower bounty, for a neutral. The first time, obviously, Utica, this time for the Soul. Vortex aren't going to be able to make that trade too many times without the game being unplayable. If they make the trade again the next time, it would be for Baron. And if they try and attempt it a 4th time, if they don't do it quickly enough, it would be for an Elder, and it just doesn't seem worth it at this point. The bounties on the towers are nice, as Frank is caught.
Is caught. Ragnarok not dropped yet as the route goes slightly wide from Tiga, as Beag is now just walking at Bradman on the bottom side. So much damage coming out of this Q, but the Subjugate has been popped. A good heal comes in for Bradman, but he's so slow. The Wither does so much. Cookie has arrived as well, as Beag is now going to take the fear. Tiga is arriving. the Ghost is popped. Mekri's here as well, another 4-man, but there's nothing to trade for this time. It will just be Beeg's life for forfeit for no real reason. They can try and get pressure on the top side, ready for the Baron, but they will be contested.
Yeah, I mean, they Big trades his life. He's pushing a bit too far forward with no vision really around him, but he's going to trade his life. They get the Prio in the top lane. They get good vision set up in the top side as well, and they're going to try and push for this tier 2 Vortex. I don't think they'll get much luck against an Orianna, however. This Orianna is very much online in this game.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at a 4v5 for the Baron.
Certainly are, but Tom and Towie doing a good job of locking Chaos out of their own jungle. Cookie taking his reset now. Baron has only just spawned with Din on the bot side and Big off the map. The question is, can you do it fast enough? It seems like the call may be yes. Now coming back out on the map, Baron's already been started and it's completely off of vision. The only thing that Chaos have that could tell them this is going on is a feeling, a gut instinct. This will just be taken for free, as I would assume we could call this the trade for Beeg's last death, but this is not worth it for Chaos.
Yeah, I mean,
they can't step in.
They can't step in, but they had a situation where it was 4v5 on the map for so long, but because they tried to push out towards that tier 2, they never really managed to get in and contest the vision in their own jungle, or, you know, get top lane priority or mid lane priority and then contest through the river. So when Light eventually did pull the trigger, they had secured very shallow vision in their own jungle, and pretty much that was it. They had nothing else to give, as Cookie has to flash as well.
He does. We're very, very close to what could be a game-ending fight. Elder's not up for another 2.5, 3 minutes at this point, so it is just trying to siege with this Baron, trying to find these inhibitors, knock them down finally. The only standing gold on the map left is in the base of Chaos for Light.
And now that you're all turtled up inside your own base, facing off against a Baron buff, the Nasus becomes even scarier, because you try and 4-man this Nasus, you're going to lose your whole base, and they're going to go for the Nasus now, and they're going to lose mid for it.
That they are. Lee comes down, which means Beeg should just drop, but the inhibitor is already gone, and they're moving to Nexus Towers. Tiga trying to get some damage down. Morbase tanking up the tower, does have to dash away. Daisy doing a good job of keeping everybody out, but Dean able to get the phase rush off. Paranoia is dropped, but it's a clumped team you can't dive into as Cookie. The Paranoia is just going to be dissuasion, but it does not matter because they're just walking back in. Cliff. Frank going to take the undertow to the face. Tiga going to sidestep away from the Winter's Bite. Cookie's back in his own jungle. He's confident they can't end here. Elder up in a minute 40.
Cookie is on vision.
He's gonna get collapsed. He's on vision. 4 members strong. They're looking for him. Hero's entrance comes in as Cookie is just dead. Towie's the only one to get knocked up. Tom is keeping Bradman out. Mekari, now the next life to be forfeit, has to flash away. Will survive for now. But this top lane tower is now the next one going to be under siege as Beeg opens towards the bottom side. The Baron's still going. Nearly a 10,000 gold lead, yet again sitting at 9k thanks to the little amounts of gold Beeg is giving back over with these deaths. But this is going to be the second inhib to fall, and with a minute until Elder, that could be the final nail in the coffin of Chaos. Towie jumping forward, finds the Winter's Bite. It's just going to be an out situation, I think.
Daisy's popped. It looks like they want to keep chasing, but I really do think this play is off. It's kind of a bit of a waste of the Daisy, as Frank just sends her into suicide. And now Light get to switch over their priorities and either contest this Elder, which is probably the right play. They're all basing on a ward with Elder 30 seconds to come up. So it does look like Vortex are going to be able to get this mid priority. And they're TPing the Trundle down here, so they are all in for this Elder. If this doesn't work out, even if this is stalled for long enough, they are going to lose the game through topside.
Yeah, they certainly will. Dean TPing in behind. He's on a beautiful flank as Tom has found Tiga. The ghost has been popped. The flash has been forced. The Featherstorm comes in. The Ragnarok stops the Blade Caller. And the Zaya will be the first to fall. Cookie next on the list as Beeg is here to claim his revenge. Mechari will fall in between everybody. Frank just has to give his life. Bradman, he TP'd down, but he TP'd to nothing. His team is in tatters. Beeg's teleporting back into the base. Dean is going to stop Bradman from resetting. Not realizing that Bradman stood right there. A beautiful shockwave sends Bradman to an inch before his death. The flash forwards as the Elder secures it. And with that celestial light, the golden road is still on. First is still theirs in a 2-1 victory over Chaos.
Yeah, nice winner picked up. Game 3 much more convincing than Game 2. It was almost a perfect game. The only stuff they ever really lost was through Beeg dying and then them having to give up towers after Beeg's death. But every time that they lost Beeg on a side lane, Light were getting so much done on the other side of the map. And, it was one of those situations where the sacrifice from Beeg, very much worth it, as his team are just pressing their lead everywhere else. The cross maps were nice. And yeah, it's a nice 2-1 win for the boys in Celestial Light.
Very happy with how that final game goes, especially after how close Game 2 was. Real assertion of dominance coming out of Light. And they keep their Golden Road going, as well as the organizational Golden Road. All 4 teams yet to drop a series. Of course, these games were played on Monday. We did have Twilight play on Wednesday, as well as Vacuity playing on Monday. Shadow not having a game this week. We'll have 2 next week, however. One on, I believe, Tuesday, the other on Thursday. So next week, big games. 5 games total next week for all of our teams to see if this Golden Road can continue. Takes us to next week is the penultimate week of the season for Division 2. I believe it takes us to about halfway into the regular split for Division 3 and 4, and will be, I believe, close to the end of the split for Division 1, regular split for Division 1 as well. So a lot riding. We will be looking at the Twilight and Vacuity games from this week on Sunday. We're going to do a slightly less serious stream for those, as myself and Cliff will be present for both. And of course, Cliff plays on Vacuity in Division 4, and I myself play on Twilight in Division 2. So we're going to do a slightly more co-stream centric stream for those 2 series. But I'm optimistic for next week.
Yeah, I mean, we also round out the Vortex triple header on Monday, as Celestial and Vortex will have played each other 3 times in the space of 7 days, so that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to facing off against Vortex's Div 4 team. The Golden Road very much on for all of us. Though I will say Shadow have literally played 1 game so far.
They've played two.
Oh, they've played... No, they haven't played 2. They've played
have.
1. They've played 1. They have 2 wins because somebody from their group forfeited. So they've literally played 1 series the entire split so far.
And it was against Madmen.
And it was against Madmen. And we're in week 4. Let's keep that clear. Monday is week 4, and they all have played 1 series. So
I believe the rescheduled match for them is for their last week as well.
Yeah. The game they're playing on Tuesday was for the game that they were meant to play on Thursday.
Not last week, as in the last week of the regular split.
Oh, really? So that one's being pulled forward. Didn't they have... I believe their game on Thursday was a reschedule. I might be wrong.
Let me have a look. I can... Give me 2 seconds. I've got to log back into tournament. They're in group 2, I believe. Yes. Tell a lie. Nope. And it was another team that pulled it forward. Yes, the 10th of June is their game from round 3, and the 12th is their bye week. So they actually don't have 2 games this coming week. They have 1 game this coming week.
Okay.
No, I lied. They have 1 game.
But yeah, Golden Road is very much on the card still. Obviously, Shadow need to have some grounds to catch up, as they've only played 1 game. But yeah, exciting stuff for everybody involved.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's all from
believe.
us. I don't think
Yeah, I
there's
believe that does it.
I don't think there's much else. I think
Do you
the
wanna?
guys I think the guys from Light are currently scrimming right now, so I
They
don't
are
think we're going to
indeed.
be able to pull any of them in to have a chat with us about the games. Um, I mean, I could just very rudely go in there and tell them to pause their scrim, but I'm not.
No, don't do that.
I am not going to name any names about why that would be ridiculous.
Do you want to try and run the light teaser? Because we haven't actually released it yet, so it could be if
It's
it
not working.
works.
Yeah,
It's not.
it's not working. No.
It's just not.
It's just for some reason not operating properly on my stream.
Well, we'll
Streamlabs,
get it out
so
on socials at some point over the next couple of days. If not
yes,
tonight.
hopefully tonight. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. It's been a lot of fun. I've been Cliff, been joined by the wonderful Luna. We probably won't see, well, we will see you on Sunday together, but we probably won't be casting together properly for a while.
No, it'll be a little bit.
It will be. But
Depends on how
anyway,
schedules line up.
thank you all for watching. It's been a fantastic cast, and yeah, we'll see you on Sunday.
Coming like a Hellcat. Coming like a Hellcat. Like a Hellcat.
Thank you.